Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to go over something that I've wanted to try for quite a while. There's some ways to degas resin using vacuum chambers or pressure pots, but I wanted to come up with something that was a little bit more practical, something that was a little more affordable, and I got to thinking that food storage containers contain vacuum pumps sometimes, and they're supposed to be able to pull pretty close to a full vacuum. So what I ended up doing is I went online and I found a little vacuum seal canister. It's made out of some kind of a polycarbonate glass, has a silicone seal and then a little button at the top. And what I did is I tested this to make sure it did hold a good vacuum. I bought it a couple days ago and it's held a vacuum ever since. So I know this canister is going to be a good test of if it can degas resin or not. So sit back and enjoy. We're about to get started. So I'm going to be using some orange food coloring. I'm going to be pouring some resin in some pumpkin molds that I got. Just something that's festive for the holidays. So here we go. So it would help if I actually grabbed orange or tangerine. So let's try this again. Just add this on top of it, make it a little strong. There, that should do the trick. Then we should have some orange pumpkins. Okay, so I just take my resin, drop it down in here, and then I'll set my lid on top. And press the button and wait. So I went ahead and hit the vacuum twice. It appears to be sucking some air out. So let's see if I can rotate this around. There, you get a way better view from here. Well, that certainly appears to be degassing the resin. So after a minute or so, I'm going to go ahead and hit it again, just because the air that's getting sucked out will fill the vacuum with more air, and I want to keep a nice solid vacuum. So I'll go ahead and hit that in a minute. This vacuum canister was only $30. The cheapest resin vacuum chamber that I could find was well over 150. So I'd say, leave this in here for a couple more minutes and take it out and see how it looks. But so far, this has proven to be a little bit of a game changer when it comes to pouring resin, at least in my case, since I don't have a vacuum chamber. Alright, so I just took the resin out of the vacuum canister. It looks pretty good. It was definitely pulling a vacuum because the bubbles were sucking up. So it's starting to get warm. I'm going to go ahead and pour this and see what the end result's like. Okay, so this is the next morning. I ended up filling up a couple extra molds with the extra resin, and I'm actually pretty surprised how clear they are compared to if I were to just use the torch on them. The vacuum chamber definitely did a pretty good job. For the price, you get what you pay for. You know, it doesn't pull a complete vacuum. I can tell that from when I was pouring the resin. But if you wanted to pour a couple molds that are a little bit thin, it looks like it's working pretty good. Pumpkins, let's take one of these out. This is about 3 times as thick as the owls. You can still see some bubbles in there. So I would say this isn't a perfect solution to degassing the resin. I would definitely stick with the pressure pot, especially if you're going to be casting thick things like this. But for what I wanted to use it for, I wanted to test it out and see if it worked. So if you guys like this content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I do a video every week. Make sure you guys share this video as well. I really appreciate it. And until next time, this is the easy way to do things. We'll see ya.